What's good, everybody? Morning after Monday. We were late. That's on me. Hand up. We're late. That one was on me. Forgot to send G the link. Also, I hit go live and it took 10 seconds to actually go live. So I do want to put a little bit on StreamYard.
We're only like 12 seconds late. I think we're fine. I feel pretty great about where we're at, honestly. Also, hi, everyone. This is a new bit I'd like to call every time my team is number one in the net rankings, I show up and do the morning after first thing on a Monday morning. So great to be here. Thank you for having me and my number one in the net rankings, Michigan Wolverines. It's awesome to be here.
We're doing full feast week recap. I feel like I should give you the floor. Where does the players era rank in terms of the banners you have hanging right now?
Third. Yeah, it's a Mickey Mouse tournament. And I feel like we haven't talked about this. Do you feel the same way Cart and I do on the players era stuff?
What was you guys' takes on it?
So at the risk of like alienating our entire YouTube audience again, I didn't get why people were so upset about it. I get it. I understand it's like killing Maui and evil corporations. And like we like crowds. I also like crowds. I've never just really, even in the good Maui games, I don't watch those games like for the crowd, really, for the soul of the presentation. So I can understand how people do. More power to you if you do. I wish that you got what you wanted here. It was a soulless presentation in Las Vegas. I just also enjoyed watching my team win 3 games by 110 points in 3 days. Like, am I not supposed to have fun doing that? It was still like really high level hoops. So I don't know. I feel like the internet was freaking out about it. People were really coming after Cart and his career. And I guess I get why. That's fun too. But I feel like I saw some of your tweets, then they were more in line with our line of thinking on this.
Yeah. I thought all the players era hate was ridiculous. It makes me love the players era. And I don't think some of the people that were responding to me, I don't think realize like all you're doing is making me like want to double and triple down on the players era. So players era to me is more important than March Madness now. I'm going to start pitching next year for us to meet at the players era instead of the Final Four. I don't know how many people will go for that. It feels like it would probably just be you and I. But also you hate Vegas, so it might just be me. And then everybody else goes to the players era.
I don't hate Vegas. I've just never been to Vegas, which is out of protection for my family. If I went to Vegas, I think things could go south very quickly or could go great really quickly, which is a huge part of the sell on Vegas. So I guess we'll see one day. But no, now upon further thought, second most important banner behind me, I'll say it just barely leapfrogs the Demon Deacon Wolverine Classic. That's a big one that really has a lot of history and tradition for me. But no, the goal here, the end goal as a Dusty May Michigan fan is always the Big Ten tournament. That's always our number one priority. It's the only thing we're thinking about at all times. So still behind that.
I feel like the players there, though, my honest take on it was, yeah, the crowds weren't crazy, but I went back and watched so like I've recorded every Maui Invitational since I got YouTube TV. I don't know why. I think it was an accident, but like it happened. And so I went back and watched some of the Maui Invitationals. I don't think those Maui crowds are that crazy. Like I think I tweeted it out. Like I think the only difference between the players era and Maui was that Maui's played in like high school arenas, so it looks more packed. Vegas, like they played it inside of whatever the Michelob Ultra arena is. So I think the amount of people there was honestly probably more than the amount of people that could fit in that high school gym in Maui. But when you spread them out across a 1,000 seat stadium, like it looks dead and it sounds dead. But the Beat Ohio chant certainly didn't.
Yeah, Matt is in the chat, by the way. Matt Maderno from our team. Hi, Matt. He was at the players era doing some recaps for us while he was there. And he says he recommends everybody going before blindly hating. He said it was like 110% of every other MTE he's ever been to, which I do feel like, you know, part of this does feel like it's people. What's the line? Like how I don't understand how you can hate from outside the club. You can't even get in.
Yeah.
Like anyone who was at Players Era said it was amazing. and that's just fueling the fire more because people watching from their couch are like, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be amazing, you idiot. Like, I don't get it. And I'm not saying it's like jealousy, but I guess as someone who has been to a couple of these events, they're just not as charming as you think. And I haven't been to Maui, but like I've been to some other MTEs and I'm never coming home like, wow, that was charming. It's basketball in an empty place. Even we talked to Braden last week on the Running Point thing. We were like, man, that seemed like such a great, like on television, Purdue fans were crazy. He was like, yeah, there were like 30 people there. It was really small. Like, I think however the presentation makes it look may not always be accurate to what's real, you know?
Yeah, I feel like that's the biggest difference. Like, you go to the Battle for Atlantis, are there more people at the Battle for Atlantis than at the Players Era? Probably not. But
No.
when you put the Players Era in like an NBA-sized gym, it looks massively small.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, you can look across Feast Week. I don't think the Players Era was the only issue. There was like a 1 a.m. game played at the United Center, I think on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I'm not sure anyone knows that actually happened.
Yeah. No, I've decided a couple things. I'm going to use this bit for all neutral site games going forward. So like Champions Classic next year, damn, what a soulless presentation this is. Big Ten tournament game. God, where's the Civic Center? Like, this is just not fun. But also, I do think people are underestimating the humor in how funny it is that people like Jeff Goodman are going out saying how great this is. Like, and I get why people are mad about that, but at least can we acknowledge how funny it is? Jeff posting like empty pictures, being like, "This is amazing." It's funny to
me. I mean, listen, if Vegas wants to pay us to come tweet a bunch of random stuff, like I was doing it for free. That's all I'm gonna say. So like I'm in to go next year and just tweet a bunch of random stuff out. Did you see Hammer mic'd up the Syracuse guys?
So good. So good. I love it. Yeah, Hammer was having fun out there. He was interviewing players. It looked like it went well. And on a serious note, there were people like I think the one guy, I don't know, somebody I follow, I think his name's Matt, who was like really after Carter this weekend for some reason. A lot of the replies to his tweet were just like, oh, like classic sleepers. Of course they're getting paid for this. But let's make it extremely clear. We're not. Like, you would know if we were. And we would not hide from that. Like, we're not making anything off the idea that we just enjoyed watching the Players Era Festival from our couches. I don't think people understand how any of this works. Rickus Morty says, am I allowed to say I miss JK? Absolutely. It's really gonna do wonders for his ego, though. That's kind of scary, Dion.
Yeah, JK's ego, that's been my biggest concern with this program from start. I've texted JK this, I've texted you this. I feel like my only job is to make sure JK doesn't get too high off this show. Because if he does, JK will quit on us the first chance he gets, no matter what he says. JK is Jersey Jerry, where if he were to have like a crazy successful show, he will ask for a new contract immediately. And I realized the other day, like the whole we can't afford JK after February thing, that's because Cart gave him a raise without talking to anybody about the raise. And it was a raise that JK actually gave himself.
Yes. Yeah. I stay out of the finances. I've heard talk of a JK raise for a long time, basically on an ongoing basis. So I am JK's biggest advocate, though. I always go to bat for it, to be honest. That's my guy. JK sent me 4 different, like, oddly motivational Thanksgiving texts this weekend. At the most random, I was asleep for 3 of them. I don't think JK gets that I'm a dad. So he'll just hit me at like 1:45 in the morning, always up, always grinding. # nobody works harder. Like, yo, I'm just really thankful with how we've grown, bro. And I'm like, yeah, like me too. I love you, but I'm asleep right now. JK.
JK, elite holiday guy. Like I think he's the perfect person to have around for the holidays. Just a lead dude. I'm always pro JK raises too. I just thought it was hilarious when it like dawned on me like a week ago. We can't afford JK because he gave himself a raise through text to Carter, and Carter just replied, "Yeah."
Yeah, that is how it works. I've been giving myself bonuses for 3 years, and I never get them.
I love it. I love the like this is where like us just filming stuff like would go so viral. Like just the whole like Carter sending the money out on the 30th thing. Like that would be hilarious. Like there's going to be a month where we get paid like the second of the following month because he forgot on the 30th.
Yeah. I mean, we're such a shifty operation in all ways. That's how this works. Yeah, Connor Lamb knows. He said, when I think of big, corrupt, evil corporations, I do think about sleepers. Yep, that tracks. Rickist wants to say, aren't we close to not being able to pay JK? Yeah, to an extent. I would say to an extent. I would say a couple things have changed in the last month in a positive direction, but without giving too much away, like the way this is supposed to work is that corporate sponsorships fund Jacob. He's our only like full-time salary position that we have. We would love to be able to pay like Dion and Riley and everyone a full-time gig, but everyone who works with us other than Jacob and I have real jobs outside of this. So, stay low and build. One day maybe we'll get there. But like we have to pay a full-time salary for Jacob, and we have to pay that for me. Otherwise, this whole thing collapses. And we're set up in a way that I'm funded through other things. Jacob is funded through sponsor money. We don't have any sponsors, and we haven't for months, which is crazy. The thing that is fixing that is we're doing such good numbers on the YouTube that our YouTube revenue is like double what it's ever been. So through some concessions, basically like Carr and I saying we'll take less than we normally take, we're going to be able to cover JK. But it feels like a hit because like I'm not really reaping the benefits of the channel performing, and neither is Carr. So, oh well, there's your behind the curtain. That's what's going on. Hopefully we can get a sponsor.
I'm willing to give some of my money up to JK too. I feel like I make too much. We got paid yesterday. I don't understand what my contract is for what it's worth. I just like I trust in you and Cart with everything. But I saw the number yesterday and was like, if we're a few hundred short, I'm willing to give a few hundred up to JK.
Cart paid you yesterday?
Yeah.
That's just not at all when I thought he was supposed to pay you.
He told me he's paying me on the 30th every month moving forward.
Oh, okay. This is why I stay out of finances.
He told me he got a call from you.
Could not be less true.
I got a long text from Cart that like said, "Hey, we're getting like organized with everything. Like I'm paying everybody on the 30th of every month."
Yeah, that 100% did not happen.
And I was like, "Dang, we're getting organized. Like we're becoming a real organization. Like I feel like this is bad for us. Like because I feel like Cart and I thrive in the chaos." And he's like, "Yeah, I got a call from corporate."
Yeah, it just didn't happen. Did not happen.
I mean, well, I think everybody's getting paid on the 30th every month now, though.
My guess would be that you and Jacob got paid, and maybe nobody else got paid. That'd be my guess. Why are we doing that? No idea. Not at all what we're supposed to be doing. But this is why I stay out of finances.
I mean, Caden Boozer's in the chat, and he still has the picture of me. Okay. That's been a thing the last few episodes. I don't think I look like Caden.
Is that
maybe?
That's not you? I thought that you had a burner called Caden Boozer.
No, I'm anti-Caden Boozer.
Are you?
Yeah. Well, no. So I'm stuck. I'm stuck on the Caden Boozer stuff because I feel like he's better than Caleb Foster, but they're both the type of point guard I hate watching. They just dribble up at half court for like 20 seconds and then pass it to Cam when we could just do that. We could do that 10 seconds prior.
Yeah, I hear that. That makes sense. I'm a big nepotism guy and big Twins guy. So by default, I have to be a Caden guy, but he's one of the more uninspiring Twins in recent memory for me.
Yeah, he's like the Harrison twins were way more fun than not more fun than Cam, but way more fun than Caden.
I've been workshopping ways for me to not talk myself out of the Arkansas bandwagon, by the way. And pretending that Darius Acuff and Malik Thomas are twins is what I'm currently doing.
Like, you want to be on the bandwagon or you want to be off of it?
I want to be on it still, but I'm aggressively off of it from basketball results. But I'm just trying to brainwash myself into thinking that Acuff and Thomas are twin brothers, and then I couldn't abandon them.
Okay, let's talk that Duke-Arkansas game real quick. I think that was one of the best games of Feast Week.
Yeah.
Malik Thomas plays this game like it's a pickup game. And
Yep.
I haven't decided, like, is that impressive to you or is it like a problem? Like, there's times where it's a red flag, and then there's other times he hits a three off the backboard. I'm like, this is the most electric player in the country.
I hate it. I don't think it's good. I don't think Cal knows what to do with it. I'm doing a thing that I very rarely do, where I'm like, damn, picture this guy in a different program that he almost committed to. He almost went to UConn. And if Malik Thomas was on this year's UConn team, kind of like sharing minutes with Solo Ball and or like taking some minutes from Solo Ball, they'd be so nasty and he'd be so good. He'd be like Jordan Hawkins, but better. And instead, it's just like Cal has no idea what to do with him. I don't think Cal knows if this is their best player or their worst player or a sixth man, or like he brought him into the starting lineup for 2 games. They almost lost to Samford. Then he took him out of the starting lineup. Like, he's still playing starter minutes, but his minutes are way down. Like, he's back-to-back games, his 2 lowest totals of the season, 18 and 26 against Duke. So, yeah, I think he's fun. I think he's a lot more fun than good. And then you have Acuff, who's like, I think really good and winning and tough. But can they go together? Can they go exist? Probably, but it probably means Carter Knox is as quiet as he's been. And meanwhile, the Arkansas front court's a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a weird situation because I feel like they're better than they play. And part of the reason I think they're better than they play is this dude's shooting like 40 footers off one leg. He looks like Luka Doncic playing like the Charlotte Hornets up 20. But it's a 2-point game at the United Center against Duke. But by the way, I want to bring that up. No shot that environment was that much better than the players era, but like no one wanted to speak on that. Like I was watching that game, like it wasn't that much crazier than the players era championship by any means. Speaking of which, Akil gave us $40, said put a $40 future on the Bears to win a Super Bowl plus 2,700 odds right now.
Love that bet.
Yeah, I love that bet too. There's no shot we ever see the donations, those guys. Like, that's 100% just going to cart. It probably will go to Leon's diapers, which isn't a bad thing by any means. But I do want to, like, if you guys give us money and say to do something with it, we're never going to see it.
So on the Bears quickly, now I'm falling into the trap because this is the trap. We do a morning show. It's supposed to be basketball, and also we're doing Chicago Bears futures. I am in on Ben Johnson in a handful of ways. I miss him. I'm angry, but he's great, and I like his offense. And I love this Bears team. There was a text sent to a group chat I'm in comparing Ben Johnson's shirtless Thanksgiving celebration to Eric Musselman going shirtless in that one NCAA tournament a couple years ago. Where, remember, for a while, we all thought Muss was like the next guy up. Yeah. Like, oh, Muss is going to get the Kentucky job. Like, and now Muss is like withering away with Chad Baker-Mazara and nowhere to be found. I could see Ben Johnson's career going that path. I could also see him being amazing. Which one do you think is more likely?
Well, real quick, Chad Baker-Mazara, Maui Invitational champion.
Two-time.
Listen, I've been told all week how important the Maui Invitational is. So, like, now that Chad won it, I want everybody to keep that same energy.
Honestly, now that you say that, if we are going to buy into the people that want the soul of college basketball to remain what it is, we now have to embrace Chad Baker-Mazara as the winningest player in college basketball history.
Absolutely. Listen, they said we want the Maui Invitational. Chad Baker-Mazara said, I'm going to Maui. I'll save it. And everybody wanted to ignore it. You know what I mean? That's not Chad's fault. He showed up. He did what he was supposed to do. That's my guy. As usual, Chad Baker-Mazara is there doing what he's supposed to do. Yeah, honestly, Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams are so confusing to me. I think they hate each other, but then they makes some sick plays, like Ben Johnson calls a play and Caleb Williams does something crazy and Ben Johnson gets excited. And I'm like, maybe they don't hate each other. But like, I think like week 5, I was thinking to myself, if the Bears and Lions swap quarterbacks, I think both teams get better.
Possibly. I think the Bears are fine, to be honest. Detroit would do that trade in a heartbeat right now, I think, which is crazy. At the beginning of the year, we wouldn't have said that. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Ben and Caleb are just kind of like that couple that's been married for too long. And they've only been together for 1 year. But it's like, like we know we're what's best for each other. We know it would not be good for either side if we like actually called this off. But do we like each other every day? No, like not really. But like in the end, we can stomach this because we're 9-3, and all of a sudden I'm being painted as a winner for the first time in my career, and all of a sudden you look like coach of the year. Yeah. It's mutually beneficial,
I think it's good that for them the Lions are losing. I don't think there's a coincidence. Yeah. Like I don't think there's a coincidence. Ben Johnson did the shirt thing the day after the Lions lost their most important game of the year. I think there is so much comparing the two teams that in the beginning of the year when the Lions were like they pummeled the Packers. Yeah. I think Ben Johnson put so much pressure on himself that he was over calling games because of it. I know we're not supposed to do football stuff, but I do want to ask you really quickly. The Lane Kiffin drama was so like electric. I need that in college basketball.
Yeah, I mean, I need your Lane thoughts.
So
you're a Kiffin guy, right? Like I was thinking quietly to myself all weekend, you're loving every second of this.
Every second.
I loved it up until last night. And then last night, once he like made the decision and it was out and he's being booed, and then I saw the clip of Ole Miss like mobbing the new guy that got named coach.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it now.
So a few things. I follow more Ole Miss accounts than I thought. Much bigger Lane Kiffin guy than I realized until Saturday and Sunday when I just see these retweets flowing in. I'm like, wow, I didn't realize how much I loved Ole Miss. Everyone keeps retweeting the recruits saying that they're staying. It's all the ones Lane probably didn't actually want. So like I'm a big like click on the account of the recruit. If I see GPA, I know he's bad. A lot of GPAs in those dudes like Twitter accounts, and then the ones that decommitted, no GPAs. And like, so I know those are the really high end ones. So they'll be going to LSU. And then my honest takes on it. I thought Lane Kiffin handled it better than I was expecting. I think he was put in a poor position by all parties, the NCAA, LSU, and Ole Miss. The NCAA, because that calendar is crazy. The fact that Lane Kiffin had to make a decision before the SEC championship, before the playoff, that's not on Lane Kiffin. It's not on either program. It's on the NCAA. LSU basically saying we'll pull your $100 million offer if you don't agree to it this weekend, I think is crazy. If Lane Kiffin, like, who's your alternative buddy from Tulane? Like, I think you could just wait around on Lane Kiffin if you wanted to. And then Ole Miss basically giving him a deadline. Ole Miss, by the way, I don't know who like this program thinks they are. Let him coach in the playoff. You are not Auburn, Alabama, Georgia, Florida. Like, you're not one of these like classic SEC programs. Back to the gutter you go. Like, right back to the gutter do you go, Ole Miss. Like,
yeah, I feel bad for Ole Miss fans, but also I think their best path to trying to win a championship this year was to get Lane out of there when they did. I really do. I think the only thing you have left, like, respectfully to Lane, I don't think Ole Miss was winning the title anyway, even if it was entirely locked in coming back. So, like, a totally checked out Lane who is openly trying to bring players and coaches away from the program. Yeah. That was not going anywhere. You had to do this. It sucks that you had to do this. They now at least have like a little, maybe big chance at like the Ewing Theory Championship, which Michigan did after their coach left. They named Steve Fisher the interim. It's like, a Michigan man will coach Michigan, and the basketball team wins 6 straight. Like, I wouldn't be stunned if Trinidad Chambliss like goes on a hero run, and all of a sudden here we are. And it's all like Lane Kiffin can still take credit for it, even though he wasn't coaching the games. That'd be the funniest thing. E to the FND says housewives greater than hoes. Can I talk about this for a moment?
Yeah, because I mean, I got a take on this, by the way, too.
Go ahead and get your take first, and maybe should we be careful? We don't have to be careful on this, do we?
I feel like this show we don't have to be, but it is on the channel. Probably like a general channel carefulness, but not.
I mean, we're not going to compare any coaches of programs we cover to anything negative here. We're just going to respond to the idea of these hoe comments about Lane Kiffin.
Listen, I'm just going to say if Lane Kiffin's the hoe, and what is the dude's name that just took the job?
I don't know, dude.
Pete, the buddy with the mullet, is the housewife. I want Lane. I want Lane. And I'll tell you right now, Pete won't be coaching Ole Miss longer than Lane did. I'll tell you that right now. That Pete dude, the mullet guy, I give it a year. I give it a year. They hired him, and this is why I feel bad for Ole Miss mostly. They hired him because he's the one that would have kept the most players there for the playoff run. He's the only way they get in the playoff. When they get to the playoff and they lose, everybody hits the portal. He maybe makes it through next season. Maybe. Like, I think it's most likely he gets fired midway through the year and then they go hire the candidate they actually wanted. But he was the only way that they actually make the playoff. Because if they said Pete's only the interim coach, everybody hits the portal immediately.
Yeah, you're right. I agree. I think everyone would agree. Like this coach probably isn't going to be here forever. Coaches don't have to be anywhere forever. Like the issue with Lane is not that he left here. The issue with Lane this week is the way he did it and seemingly trying to burn it all to the ground at the end of this. But I don't know. Like, look, I thought the podcaster who said, what was the exact word he said? Like,
he said you can never turn a hoe to a house.
You can't. Yes, he was quoting the song. Okay, there you go. I think it's an appropriate metaphor, just done really inappropriately by him. He looks super right in the end for like what he said, right? Like his point was made. His point was correct. He did it maybe in a really distasteful way. I have no issue with Lane Kiffin having a problem with it and calling it out and then leaving. That type of situation happening probably didn't exactly put Lane Kiffin in a spot where he wants to do well by Ole Miss if this is the way the people are going to treat him on the way out. So, toxic situation all around. Here's what I would say. Let's not use the word hoe as the most derogatory term ever, okay? Like, there is a time for a housewife and there is a time for a hoe, Dion, okay? Now, I'm not speaking from personal experience, don't get me wrong, but I am speaking on this. If I look at Ole Miss football, when they hired Lane Kiffin, to me, they weren't looking for a housewife. They weren't trying to buy a ring. They weren't trying to get a venue. They were trying to have a night. And guess what? They just had a night. They got their night from their hoe. That's what just happened with Ole Miss football, okay? And now they want to complain, like they're basically, they are the client that falls in love with the stripper. That's what this is. And, he left us? No shit. He's doing his job, okay? Now, I think LSU is more interesting because I would argue LSU is in the phase of their life as a program that they should be looking for the housewife. So I would argue this is actually more likely to not work for LSU because of who they are. But I just feel like that's lost in all this. The idea that because Lane Kiffin is a job jumper, he has no respect. Like, dog, there's a place for that archetype within this entire ecosystem. He's really damn good at it. He just took this team to the playoff. It's not the end of the world to call this man what he is and say that he's now going to jump somewhere else.
I'm going to get you out of here in a minute, but I want to say your whole take on it, that's why he should be able to coach the playoff. Because you knew what you were getting into with Lane. He just gave you the best season of your life. It's not his fault he had to make the decision right now. It's not LSU's fault he had to make the decision right now. That's why you let him coach the playoffs. you give yourself the best chance to put your best foot forward to win the Natty, in my opinion, which I think if Lane walked into that room and said, hey, we got 6 weeks left. It's me, Charlie, Pete, and y'all. And then, by the way, like when it's over, we can all go to LSU. And I promise our bags will be Louis at LSU. I think you get like a really motivated, like Ole Miss team. The whole offensive staff got on the plane with him. I saw. So it's really just the defensive guys that are left. So I don't know who's going to call plays for Ole Miss. I think I saw a rumor like it might be like Joe Judge, the old Giants coach. So like I think it's over for Ole Miss, respectfully. And to be completely honest with you, like with all due respect to Ole Miss as a program, Chris Beard's doing the same thing in a couple of years. So Chris Beard did the same thing this past offseason that Lane Kiffin did in 21, where he said, these aren't the jobs I want necessarily. Expectations will be low at Ole Miss. I'm going to re-sign an extension. I'm going to get a little bit more NIL. I'm going to get them to a place they've never been. And then I'm out of here. I'm going right back to like a super, super big program. And LSU, if you're going to turn a hoe to a housewife, it's going to be LSU.
I mean, that there is a world where that happens. Look, I'll end with this. You get what you pay for, folks. Like you don't hire Lane Kiffin and expect him to stay at a job forever. You don't hire Jacob Karabatsos to be a producer and expect 40-hour work weeks without him thinking that he just is working harder than everyone else on the planet. You don't hire Riley Davis and expect that he's not going to be at a religious convention 3 out of 4 days. You don't hire, I could keep going down this path. I really could. You don't hire Mel Tucker and expect anything other than sexual deviance. You don't hire Jonathan Smith and expect winning football games. Like, you get what you pay for, and Ole Miss got what they paid for.
Real quick, last thing from me. Actual last thing. If Ole Miss was smart, they hired Brian Kelly.
Oh, God.
And honestly, you hire Brian Kelly tomorrow. You tell Pete, like, bye, bad dude, that was an accident. And Brian Kelly's your head coach for the playoff.
I mean, that would be a killer hire.
You can't tell me Brian Kelly wouldn't be like the second best hire in the history of Ole Miss. Like, maybe he might honestly be a better hire than Lane Kiffin was.
I think he's a better football coach than Lane Kiffin, truly.
Like, I think you do that immediately and you're like, you know what? We hate LSU. It's Lane versus Brian for the rest of our lives.
Oh, my God. I'm excited to see how it plays out.
All right, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. I think JK's on. Group chat between JK and Riley where they both just passed on the morning show. So currently, at the moment, G and Cart will be on Wednesday, Thursday. We went from having a whole rotation that didn't include G and Cart to now without G and Cart being involved. I think it would just be me. So we'll be back tomorrow, everybody.